this morning, Eastern, to talk connection with Brandon. We'll see where it goes. I think.
Why is there feedback?
I'm not sure anybody.
That's weird.
Anything to get done. Two teams have been pretty quiet about what actually is in this trade. Just, I understand it for obvious reasons. If it doesn't happen, you don't want anyone's name getting out there. So the two sides have been really quiet about it, but they continue the negotiations with Brandon. We'll see. I will say this. There are a lot of teams who believe that Brandon was interested in signing with Dallas. They think it's a team that legitimately he was interested in playing for as his NHL career continued. So, and I think that Carolina dealt with Dallas knowing that he was interested in potentially signing with Dallas, but nothing is done until it's done.
Carolina, of course, wanting help in the here and now too as they try to make a playoff push there.
No tax state too, we should mention.
In Texas.
I assume that's going to be a factor in negotiations.
So that's a big swing from the Central Division contender. And then you've got Colorado that have almost rebuilt their team in a way on the fly throughout the whole season. The latest one coming last night, Brock Nelson going from Long Island, emotional week for him, but they get their number 2 center.
Well, that's a great trade for the Avalanche. You look at their top 6, it is spectacular. We'll see what happens in Nelson's future if it's in Colorado or elsewhere, but that is a huge price for a rental. This has been a seller's market. You take a look at a lot of the deals that have been made, they have been outstanding for the teams they've been trading. Alan Ritchie instantaneously goes right to the top of the Avalanche prospect list, but he's a perfect fit for what the Avalanche are trying to do. There was a lot of interest in Nelson, Winnipeg, Toronto, Devils, and Washington. I'm sure others too, but that's a big price and Colorado stepped up for it. I think when you really look at teams today that probably have some of the most pressure to do something, I think Winnipeg and Toronto.
Okay, when we talked on the podcast, our trade deadline preview with the Edmonton Oilers, one of the things we said they were looking for is a defenseman to play on both sides of it. They landed Jake Walton yesterday. Could that be a guy that fits that role for the Oilers?
He does. He has played both sides before. It's the condition.
Okay, testing 1, 2. Speaker's fine.
12 protected in 2026, or if they trade their 2020, if the Oilers trade their 2027 first rounder before the 2026 trade deadline, it automatically goes to 2026. But it's a nice bit of business for the Sharks, who got a second-round pick for taking Walton out of Detroit and then get a first-round pick out of it. But they were looking for defense, and they got it. And I think by my count and other people's count, because I was told there was no math, the Oilers have about $300,000 of salary cap room left. So if they want to do anything else, they'll probably have to move dollars out, but they maximize their current cap space to get Walton done.
Quickly, anything else bubbling early for you?
I think one of the names that's been out there is Scott Laughton, and there's been a lot of interest in Laughton. I think what the trade returns have said, including the one from Tampa to Seattle, and now that one last night with Brock Nelson, is the price on Laughton has gone up. I think it's at least a first rounder or a first round type player before Philly will consider doing that. And so it is definitely a seller's market.
That is at Frege, HNIC. Beware the imposters today, David.
All right, Elliot and Kyle, the perfect filibusters. We only have 6 hours and 53 minutes now left to go here. So, do you think? Do you remember like what you would take before a game? Sudafed, Sniffers, Red Bull, Toradol. You think Elliot's on that right now? I don't know. He looks pretty good for this early, and all he just gave us.
He's
a lot.
not even a human being. He's AI, as RB tweeted out last
He's only on Ozempic. So that's our sponsor.
Shots are rolling.
It's too early for this. All right, let's start with the idea of Brandon. And it's hard for us to discuss this because we don't know the framework of who would be going back. But let's go with the idea that Dallas is.
Hello, welcome. We're just watching Trade Deadline live right now. I'm just in the midst of sharing a few things. I'll turn up the background on the sports now, and they're gone.
Certainly has been a lot to adjust to, but for Dallas, you think about how that adds so much to their top 6. And Rance being one of the best players in the league right now. So I'm looking at the Dallas roster, how much that adds to their team. Then absolutely become a huge contender. Maybe, okay, he was a little slow starting in Carolina, but I think for him it was, is this where I want to stay? And I think there's a lot of question marks there. So Dallas, Cal, I think it looks really good for them.
I'm with you, David. I think that puts them at the top for the Stanley Cup, at least in the final. I look at Rantanen, and for me, I just can't figure out why it didn't work.
Welcome. You're talking about the Rantanen, possibly to Dallas at the moment.
But he is a terrific player that's going to help so much. What's the swing for?
No, I think it's 2B. I think it's 2B too. I think this is a huge chance.
Just hit me up in the chat. I'm just in the midst of sharing some social media stuff.
With Colorado, top winner in the league playing with McKinnon, wasn't a top winner in the league at Four Nations. Hasn't been a top winner in the league with Carolina. I just think it's crazy that we're at this situation that Carolina gives up Natchez, gives up what they have. Not sure that he's going to sign an extension. He kind of acted like he was blindsided a bit, but he was traded. So now, like, there's a huge risk. Now, we're at trade deadline soon. Hours away.
Hang on. How did you play when you went from Vancouver to Anaheim? Were you at your best when you're?
But I did it in the summer. So I didn't have to do it mid-season.
Right, which that's how
I'm just saying, Cal,
it's a
huge. Yeah, he's got a reason. Yeah, it's a hard adjustment to move, especially to play. It's a huge gamble for Dallas.
Not only was he shocked, Carolina does play a different style of game.
Sure.
The man-on-man. So not only the shock getting adjusted to that style, I think he's going to do great if he moves over to Dallas. And even going back to like the powerhouse that they are, they moved that for Granlund earlier on in the year. I thought he's fitting well in that second line. If they get Heindl, they're going to get Hastings back. They get second back maybe for their out timeline. That's the wagon in the West, in my opinion. Let's see what Vegas does the rest of the day.
Yeah, again, it's all contingent on what they give up, but they have the young pieces. The Shell, of course, Maverick, Bork, right? Yeah. They have some that we got Stankoven, possibly. I'm throwing names up. I don't know if any of these people.
I would not move Stankoven.
He's a puck hound. He's cheap. But they have the pieces, is what we're saying. They have great young pieces that could go over to Carolina.
For me, I think the conversational for a guy like Brandon, for the way how established he is and what he's done in Colorado, why would he just have gone in and talked to management himself at some point? How can you be that shocked if you're looking for a contract extension of that magnitude? I know they tend to rely on the agents so heavily, but for me, you got to go in there, maybe. What would you have done if you're him? You win a Stanley Cup there. You're playing with the best player on the planet over the last 2 years of Nathan McKinnon. You basically get to hang out in the corner of the offensive zone and you get the puck distributed to you. I would have gone to my agent and said, hey, listen, can I have a conversation with the general manager myself? Can I figure this out? Like, why are we at this point where I can't get a deal? Let's make something happen that works for you, works for me, and then all of a sudden, then you don't get traded.
I only listened to 2 podcasts, Chicklets and 32 Thoughts. And 32 Thoughts, Elliot said that I think they thought that it was a negotiation tactic. I don't think Rantanen felt like it was that close to the end. Next thing you know, boom, gone. So I felt like from his end, he felt like he had time before he felt like he could go.
That should have been a conversation that happened in the summertime.
Sure.
That's a summertime.
You should be in control of your own destiny.
No doubt.
The thing I do like about him, so I'm not the only one just ragging on him, I like size in playoffs. He's size. So he's a big guy. Regardless of how he fits into the regular season,
Here we go.
But honestly, you got to think about Dallas now that if they're thinking, okay, well, wasn't the right fit there, but he wasn't playing as well as he could, they must believe they've got the players that can complement him nicely and he can help them elevate too in terms of their performance.
Yeah, and he was,
Right?
theoretically, we see he was a bit blindsided. Chris McFarland sort of said, okay, enough of this negotiation. I'm going to move on. Maybe go out and land Brock Nelson. We'll get to that in a matter of moments. But we do want to get out to our strategy room. Sam Cosentino with some thoughts on what might happen today. Trade deadline again, 4 hours plus. Sam.
All right, thanks, Diego. Around clearly, I've won the lottery. But Jason Buchla, the former head scout of the Florida Panthers, his brilliance helped build the team that won the Cup last year. We're so lucky to have him. Check out sportsnet.ca. If you're wondering what your team acquired, Jason has it all there. Then we have Rick Bones, 2,726 games coached as a head or an assistant. Oh, my goodness. We are honored to have you. Thanks so much.
Okay, trade tracker.
Derek Newsy-Lalonde, formerly the head coach of the Detroit Red Wings for 2.5 years. We saw him at his very best in Hockey Night in Canada a couple of years ago in the playoffs. Great to have you here as well. Want to get started on what has actually happened so far. We'll talk about the Brock Nelson trade. He moves from the New York Islanders to the Colorado Avalanche, and some people a little bit surprised by how that played out. Elliot saying there were a number of suitors for him. Newsy, you had some experience with Brock. Tell us a little bit about what's going the way of the Colorado Avalanche.
Yeah, I did. You never really know the player until you spend time with the player, coach the player. World Championships last year. Islanders get knocked out in the first round. Brett Peters
Okay, I haven't done it officially, but welcome to the trade deadline day. I didn't really put out any social media about this at all, so surprise! I've got Sportsnet going live here with me right now. We got the trade tracker happening. So yeah, hop into the chat, and we'll get going. And they're just talking about the Brock Nelson to the Avalanche at the moment. Yeah, hop in the chat, say hi. Let me know if you have any questions. So far, nothing new has happened.
Let me just jump in on that, right? He ends up in Dallas. Let's not forget that strong Finnish connection there.
Yeah.
Rupe Hintz, Esa Lindell, Miro, and they're all great players.
Something
so
wrong here. Why is the chat not working?
But when you get a player like Brock Nelson, okay, so where is he going to fit? And is
Do
he
I-
going to have a presence?
Do I dare reboot this and pray to God it doesn't shut down my stream?
Somebody that's been there all year. Now, unfortunately for the Avs, that middle stat so far just hasn't worked. So now the players see that, management see that, coaches.
Yeah, I'm gonna try rebooting this. Hopefully it doesn't shut down the camera. There we go. No, I don't think I want to do that. Where's my? Where's the chat?
He's got the character. Now he's got a great chance to win the Stanley Cup. So I think when you try to make those trades and you're looking at the pieces have to fit, and that's a perfect fit, as has been mentioned for Colorado. He is the perfect guy.
So, Rick, we'll flip-flop and move it down to you, Jason. You look at the other side of the coin for the New York Islanders, clearly a seller here, but they pick up a guy in Cal Ritchie who's playing in Oshawa right now. They get another pick in William Dufour, who's been known to be a bit of a goal scorer, but some challenges with him getting to play the right way all the time. And then
Where's the chat here?
If you're the New York Islanders, you have to be pretty happy with an expiring piece. Sorry, guys. Moving the way of Colorado and the return you get from it.
Yeah, so let's just concentrate on Ritchie right now out of the box. And here's the thing with the guy like Cal Ritchie at 6'2".
I don't know what's going on with this.
A player who can play in the middle, who when he first came in the Ontario Hockey League.
Okay, so yeah, Avalanche gets Nelson and Dufour, right wing. I'm not even that familiar with the guy. Islanders get prospect Cal Ritchie, Oliver Shillington, who I believe was dealt right afterwards to the Ducks. If I'm not mistaken there, a conditional first round pick, 2026 or 27, and a conditional third, I think is what I saw. That is super expensive for a guy who's not even extended. Super, super expensive.
It's going to be an even bigger win for them. Nice bit of business here by Lou Lamoriello and the New York Islanders. They get some real good players, some real good assets in return for a rental, potentially, and Nelson will open the door.
Yeah, and Colorado getting some more depth scoring.
They've got to waterboard this guy if they want to keep him after trading all that for him. That's crazy.
Next, we're checking in on the Leafs. They're out in Denver getting ready for a game.
Oh, they're about to talk about the Leafs. They're taking a little break, and they're going to get into Toronto here. Let's see if I can find a trade tracker. I'm going to try rebooting this. I can't get the chat going. Why isn't my chat going? Sorry, I'm having a little bit of technical difficulties with the chat. Tags, live reaction chat, NHL trade deadline, trade deadline. We're just on commercial here. Still working on what's wrong with the live chat. I hate when they I know this happens everywhere when they crank the commercial volume way higher than the broadcast volume. Comments on, yeah. Comments are on. Moderation basic. Okay. So changes saved. So where's my live chat? Send feedback, pop out dashboard, share screen. Huh. Okay, I see no choice. If I want a live chat, I've got to, I don't know, I might have to reload this sucker. Where is it? Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you're hanging around. I'd appreciate it. It helps the algorithm in YouTube so that I pop up to more people, obviously. So it'd be much appreciated. Okay, we're still on commercial. And I can't find my live stream, my chat. I don't know what to do about this. Live chat, yeah, live chat. Live chat's on, so don't understand what's happening. Why can't I see it? Okay. Oh. Okay. Oh, they're going heading back here. Okay, they're talking about Leafs now. Okay, I'm going to hold off on fixing the live chat and rebooting this until because they're talking to Leaf reporters right now.
What's happening in Leafland, fellas?
Well, David, what's happening right now is it is pretty early local time. About 8:20 here at Denver University. The Maple Leafs set to practice now for a few hours. 12:45 local time. So right now, all is quiet. Maybe a little too quiet for Leafs fans. Are you surprised that we've gotten to this point? We've gotten to deadline day, and we've heard rumblings, we've heard talks, but the Leafs haven't done anything yet.
Yeah, they seem to be in on a lot of guys, but nothing's happened yet. You know, the irony is that Brock Nelson could make his Avalanche debut Saturday here in Denver against the Leafs. One of the teams that
Luke Fox
they were
is speaking.
interested in him. They were kicking tires on Mikko Rantanen, see if there was a fit there. Dallas seems to have taken the lead in those negotiations. And you look around the Atlantic Division, everyone around the Leafs is stocking up. That should be of the most concern for Leaf fans. The fact that Florida got Seth Jones, that Tampa went out and got Bjorkstrand and Yanni Gord, another center that the Leafs had an eye on. So the Leafs are kind of left holding the bag here. Time's running out, tick, tick, tick. And Brad Treliving cannot just make moves at the fringes, in my opinion. He can't just settle for a Joel Edmondson. He has to make something of significance because first seed in the Atlantic is of great importance. They don't want to get caught in that 2-3 matchup.
Okay, the pessimist Leafs fans will say, here we go again, another deadline where not much happens. It's too quiet. They're not going to make any big moves. The optimists will say it's quiet for a reason, that they're building to the big blockbuster that's happening. Which side do you stand on?
I'm scared for the Leafs.
I mean, it's a little bit
Thanks for the
pessimistic,
thumbs
but
up.
hey, they like Braden Shen. They like Scott Lawton. Maybe package him with a Rasmus Ristolainen. There are still guys available, but they're running out.
Luke, it is quiet here in Denver for now. We'll wait and find out if it stays that way as we.
Yeah, Lawton, Ristolainen, or Shen. You know, both those super expensive, and Colorado didn't help anybody with what they paid for Nelson.
What do you want the Leafs to do? What do you think they're capable of doing?
I think I would be happy if they were able to package up with Scott Lawton and
risk though. I don't think that's likely. They're just in cap hell right now. So for me, the realistic approach is probably just get the Scott Lot. That would be a nice 3 slot. I trust JT in that second line role. I thought even going back to last year, I thought he had a great playoff. I could trust him, especially if they don't end up getting that top spot. And let's say Florida does get it and they go against Tampa. You know it's going to be a battle. But as everybody keeps saying, that is a very difficult top 3 team to the Atlantic. Solidifying that top spot is huge. They just, for me, they got to get a center because they got to relieve a little bit of pressure off Austin Matthews right now, given the fact that he's dealt with injury and they've been riding him pretty hard. Big picture though, guys, should they be going all in here? What I mean is you look at their core group and is Scott Laughton enough to put them all in? When you look at their core group, the ages, Nylander, obviously Tavares, Marner.
Answer is no.
What are you thinking here, Kevin? I'm thinking Yarncroke right here. I think a lot of people are forgetting about him. He just came back. He's been out all year. He's played 2 games. Nylander has told people numerous times he wants to play with Yarncroke. He'll slide up in that lineup. He'll give them a little bit more depth. I think your 1-2 goaltending punch is almost as good as any 1-2 goaltending punch in the East. Your D could maybe use one more guy. The Bristol line would be amazing. But I don't think there's as much pressure to add a forward as people think. I think Laughton would be a nice added bonus. I think you're not selling the farm to get him. You'd like to pick him up a first rounder. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe this is probably the time for the Leafs to make a splash. The way Nice is playing right now, would you trade him for anyone in the league?
Absolutely.
Probably not. Just beat the wheels off of him.
And he just adds that net front.
He had 30 goals this year.
You got to have a guy who's good in the blue paint. So
His team is good.
I like the team.
Yeah.
I really like the team. I'm with Paul though. I think they do need a center. And goaltending, I'm with you, Kev. I think they're terrific. I love Craig Berube after he pulled Wall. He went over to him and batted him because he understands how hard that position is mentally and make sure going down this stretch drive that your goaltender's good, young guy.
You know, I'm less concerned about the forward group. Yes, it would be nice. A lot of discussion if they want to add depth up the middle. But to me, I mean, truly said, you can never have too many good defensemen. I feel like you've missed Tanev out. So to me, a huge priority for this team.
Sure, I haven't had my matcha yet.
Really well in the playoffs. Do they need a better defender? Whether it's size, I mean, Bristolainen would be amazing. Whether it's Alexiak with some size, somebody can move. So to me, look at the forward group. You've got guys that can move up and down. Yes, it's always nice to add depth there, but to me, to have another solid defenseman, you think about the Panthers.
A lot of them are talking about they rather have a solid defenseman if they had to pick between that and C. Sentiment.
And you need depth on D when it comes to the playoffs and potential injuries. So to me, that should be a massive focus.
Real quick, yes and no. They need to win this division to have their best shot to win the Stanley Cup. I mean,
Yeah, they need to bump OEL off. They need OEL to push Benoit off, take that spot, and fill a couple of RHDs in there.
Make sure you're prepared for the playoffs so you're at your best, and it doesn't matter where you finish, really.
I think everyone's saying, okay, if they don't make a move and they don't go and get one, is this going to kind of be the same Leaf team going into the first round? What's going to change? The thing that people are forgetting is Craig Berube. So now you maybe have the same core pieces, but now you have an experienced coach who's won a Stanley Cup, who knows how to manage emotions. Give him a shot. Give him a shot with Matthews, Marner, Tavares, Morgan Riley. Give him a shot with really good goaltending and see what happens. There's not like a need. And I feel like I'm trying to help the Leafs, right now with the negotiation tactics. There's not a huge need to add. It would be nice, yes. But
yeah, I just think you don't want to go against Vasilevsky or Bobrovsky in the first round if you can dodge that as much as possible. That's why for me it's so important, and that's why I would rather add a third line center, just because if you're going against Florida, especially you got Bennett, Markov, and Lundell down the middle. Yeah, that's a heavy forward group, and you have to combat what you're going against. So that's just my
That's hard to say. I mean, they need both the center and the. Can't have Domi as your third line center or anyone else if they've.
Here, no cat math. I've been told just 3 former players and some ball do talking hockey. That's Chris Weidman. That's Colby Armstrong. Beside me is Luke Gazdick. And Colby, I'll just start with you. Listen, I know they said X said that he listens to Spitting Chicklets 32 Thoughts.
Okay, so look, sounds like a little bit of fluff here. I'm gonna try and reboot this and get the chat going. And if this goes down for any reason, I'll have it right back up within 5 minutes or less. Okay, let's do it. Cross fingers, because nothing else is working here. All right, here we go. Yeah, reload. Here we go.
So the players last
Okay.
talk about kind of the experience of the day. I'll start with you, Luke, because you said.
Okay, fantastic.
What's this day like for a player?
It worked.
And I was on mostly sellers in my career. It's being on a team that sellers is interesting. You have this mix of guys obviously that want to stay, but then you have this majority of guys that actually want to go, right? And there's guys with expiring contracts coming up, and I just felt like it was a tense atmosphere from the moment you walk in there. Usual day at practice days, you have the music going, guys are buzzing. It's just a little bit of a different atmosphere, I think, in at least the positions that I was.
Was the TV on? Like when you watch